Hello and welcome to the program. I am Mary Kanu. The federal government has disclosed plans to establish Nigerian railway and host community security outfits to curb attacks and protect passengers amid constant kidnappings, attacks and destruction of railway infrastructure. Now, this move has been seen as necessary following the recent attack by gunmen on the Tom Ikimi train station in Igweben, Edo State on Saturday, where 20 intending passengers were abducted. 13 of them are still in the den of the abductors. Now, the plan was disclosed by the Minister of State for Transportation, Ademola Adegoroye. Adegoroye has said the government is determined to forestall train station attacks, starting with the establishment of a collaborative initiative between the corporation and host communities. Meanwhile, the Edo State Commissioner for Communications and Orientation, Chris Nehikare, has said the job of securing lives and property is in the hands of the federal government, adding that there is a limit to the abilities of the local security network. The attack in Edo State comes 11 months after the Abuja-Kaduna train attack on March 28, 2022 by suspected ISWAP members. Now, who exactly should protect the nation's railway infrastructure? Dennis Amakri, former Deputy Director of the Department of State Services and a security expert, joins me now to discuss this. Thank you very much for joining me. Nigerians have moved from being scared to travel by road for fear of being kidnapped to not being able to travel by air due to the high cost of airfare, and now traveling by rail has been added to this list. Are we moving forward or backward?
Well, we are not planning properly. We are trying to place ad hoc things we're doing things in an ad hoc manner. So we are not coming up with a solid issue. When the airports were attacked, everybody was running away from flying. The routes, actually, we don't know what to do. So people started flying. From flying, we had a little problem there, and they started using the rails. And now they're attacking the rails. And we are now suggesting all kinds of stuff because we have not sat down to put our thoughts together to do the right thing.
In 2022, there were lots of discussions around the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, but unfortunately, we've seen a repeat of the same ill fate. Now, with how seamless the Edo train attack happened, it seems no lesson was learned from the Abuja-Kaduna train attack. Do you agree with this notion?
A little lesson was learned in the Abuja-Kaduna rail attack, but I don't think we learned enough, or we sit down consciously to say, hey, let us get a security system in place for the whole rail. Because what I saw there was that, I was suggesting on another forum that, look, don't open up the Kaduna Abuja rail line until the proper security things are put in place. And they put in haphazardly one or two things, then they opened up. Meanwhile, these attackers are taking their time. They have moved away to somewhere else, and now they've attacked and taken hostages. And all of us are going to move down there now and start to look for solutions. So if there was a comprehensive, program or security plan for the whole railroad in Nigeria, then we won't be going through this again.
So then, is it safe to say now that so much focus was placed on the Abuja-Kaduna train station? Now, this led to an oversight of other train stations, giving the kidnappers the leverage to attack the Igweben train station.
Yes, of course. We did it, and we did it as if that was the beginning and the end. They were not having a holistic view of the whole system. They were looking only at Kaduna, Abuja. How about other rails, even in the north? some going to Maiduguri or even going to Maradi. We are not looking at all those ones. We're just looking at that Abuja, and because maybe a lot of high-profile people were using it, um, they spent a lot of time. I'm sure they've also gone ahead to buy some few security gadgets to put in place, then open up. But we should look at the whole rail system.
The Abuja Kaduna train attack took Nigerians by surprise. And, after this attack, President Buhari directed the Ministry of Transportation and, other relevant security agencies to ensure the provision of a maximum security along the railway corridors less than a year after the Edo attack happens. Would you say Nigeria lacks the ability or capacity to ensure the safety and protection of its citizens?
No, we do not lack the capacity to do that. You can see how many soldiers were there at that same time. You can see how many policemen were on that case. And of course, even in the Gweben attack, you can see the police and the security agencies were doing very well. They did something that they never did in other cases. That is, pursuing those kidnappers without giving them any space to breathe. They pursued them all the way down into the bush and continued pursuing them, rescued some people, and that's how it should be. But what I'm advocating here is that we should look at the whole system. And when you say looking at the whole system, you can ask some questions. Do we have a railroad security control room that if you go into that room, you can see the whole rail system in Nigeria? You can see the trains and how they were moving, where they are, and of course, place response team in different areas that you find out to be black spots. Then you can put also CCTV cameras in some areas that you feel that you need eyes to look at. So these are just initial things. Look at what Lagos did. When Lagos started their own, they don't want anybody to go there and start vandalizing the rail. So what they did was, number one, they put in electric rail cars. So the railroad is electrified, and then they put it inside a corridor. You have to climb into that corridor, and that's why they're saying use the flyovers. If you go and climb inside and get shocked, then that's to your own detriment. You will die. And people knowing that, look, this thing is electrified, it might kill some people, they will not go there again. And then, of course, it is in a corridor. You design the area in such a way that it prevents criminals from coming in. And that's what we'll call crime prevention by environmental design. So I think it's very, very necessary and important that the security people, I'm sure NRC has a security manager there, should sit down, invite even the government security agencies, sit down, or even private security agencies, and then have a design, do a plan, a security plan on what to do in case of this kind of attack. Not just to open it and then hope that God no go agree, so it won't happen. Doesn't work that way.
With the back and forth, I have to ask, with the back and forth with the federal government and the Edo state government, who exactly do you say, or would you say, is responsible for the protection of railway infrastructure in the country? Is it the local or the federal government?
It is the Nigerian Railway Corporation. It is not the federal government. It is not the state government. It is the Nigerian Railway Corporation. The Nigerian Railway Corporation, yeah, you can say that it's a federal parastatal, but they have their work to do. Federal government cannot just come and do their things for them. If you want to give them policemen to do their work, fine. But in other countries, we have, in fact, in Nigeria, we used to have railway police. So where are they now? We used to have marine police. So why don't you create these things instead of hearing that they want to create a community security outfit? You can call it whatever. Instead of calling it police, you can call it outfit or whatever. But they are police. And it is high time we go ahead and create state police, because we keep on postponing these things, and then the need is always tugging at us, and we have to do something about it.
I know you've said the country learned a lesson from the Abuja-Kaduna train attack, but, somehow we couldn't stop the Edo train attack. Finally, before I let you go, what preventive measures, should be deployed to forestall such attacks?
Right now, like I said, we should suspend all the movements of trains in Nigeria. Then the security manager of Nigerian Railway Corporation should sit down. They should have a crisis management team that will sit down and design a security system for the rails from everywhere. When they do all that, they could even create the railway police. Create it. The legislators are there. It is not just giving mouth to it. Just go ahead and change the law so that railway police, in fact, there's already railway police. So if these railway police are there, rejuvenate them, train them and kit them, so that they can face the threat that is facing the railways at this time. So when they do these things and put all these things in place, plus access control, because the railways here are still one that, anybody can just walk in, walk out, No, it's not like that. Transportation security does not allow, people to walk in and out. There are public spaces, there are secured areas, there are other areas where only passengers will be found. And just like the airport. And that's what we are supposed to do. Let's not be so haphazard, or because we are looking for return on investment, or for political reasons. We have a train, we've created trains, so it's working. Yeah, but if it is not safe, nobody's going to use it. So it is very, very necessary that we do the right thing at the right time.
All right, now, Dennis Amakri, former Deputy Director of the Department of State Services and security expert. Thank you for your time and insights.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we'll take a short break now and be back. Stay with us.